Welcome back to Special Educators Resource Room podcast. This is Jennifer from Positively Learning. Today is Wednesday, not Friday. We usually do new episodes every Friday, but today I wanted to drop in your earbuds a little early because we have a timely giveaway. It ends Thursday, that's tomorrow, Thursday night, and I will put all the information in the show notes and I'll speak more to it at the end. But that's why we are early this week. I didn't want you to miss out. Today's episode is a really special one because this month, the Taskbox Club turns 4 years old. And it feels a little surreal to even say out loud. I've been thinking a lot about recording this episode and what I wanted to say because I didn't really want it to be like, look how much the club has grown. I really wanted it to feel like a celebration because the truth is this club only became what it is because teachers like you kept showing up and asking similar questions. How do I get my classroom to run more independently? How do I stop feeling like everything falls apart the second I help one student? And how do I support students with varied needs all at the same time? Those questions shaped everything. Today, I thought it would be fun to reflect on how the club started, some funny and nostalgic moments over the years, what teachers have taught me, what I've learned about independent work, and why this week's birthday celebration is all about the 4 parts of independent work that actually make classrooms run. And because teachers truly are the reason Taskbox Club exists, we're also celebrating this week by giving away a lifetime teacher membership to the Independent Work Club. I'll share more about that later in the episode. But first, let's go back in time. When I think back to the very beginning of the Taskbox Club, it was so simple. I actually created it in one afternoon. I was sitting in a hotel room in Toledo, of all places. We were on a road trip to go, I think, to Lake Erie. And this is May of 2022. And my husband had a meeting in Toledo. So we stopped there and I had several hours on my own. So I wanted to create something because I was in a Facebook group. I had a Taskbox product on TPT and somebody was asking for more. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to try to solve this problem that teachers are asking about. Because we know independent work can feel really hard and you don't want to just buy these huge bundles and use like 3 tasks out of them. I was trying to think of a solution. That's how the Taskbox Club was born. Actually, it was the Taskbox Dollar Club. I created it. It was, I think, $5 a month for the first 3 months. And you would get 6 task boxes a month. And they would be all grouped in a PDF. So you would log in, download the PDF, and you'd have 6 task boxes. You didn't get to choose them. They were just there. And I also had put in several PDFs with 6 task boxes each. I think I did 3 or 4 of them. So there were already tasks in the library. So you had a little bit more choice, but you were downloading a PDF, not knowing exactly what was inside it. At the time, it made sense, but eventually we realized, okay, nobody can actually find anything. So every stage of the club has taught us something, and we've changed platforms twice. And if you were around for all that, you deserve a medal. At the time, it felt very stressful, but looking back, it taught me how important organization and accessibility really is. Because teachers are already overwhelmed. Nobody has time to dig through all of these PDFs trying to find one task. And I think that lesson became really important over the years. Another one of my favorite things to reflect on is how much the community has grown. We added a Facebook group to the club. Does anybody remember the tailor-made Taskbox tour? That feels like such a lifetime ago, but it was so much fun. I remember when we hit 1,000 Facebook group members, and I was thinking, there are this many teachers trying to solve the same classroom problems. But more teachers joined the community, more teachers joined the club, and it became obvious it was because so many teachers were carrying the same overwhelm. And that continued to shape the club more than anything else. One of the big lessons that I received from the teachers who have joined the club over the years is that independence is teachable. Not instantly, not magically, not perfectly, but through systems, routines, repetition, structure, predictable formats, engagement, and practice. And a lot of the most loved tasks inside the club taught me that too. Because when the club first started, I kind of assumed that teachers wanted the most academic tasks and the most rigorous tasks, and they had to be complicated, like lots of different puzzle pieces. But the truth is some of the most loved tasks over the years have actually been Play-Doh tasks, matching tasks, errorless and put-in tasks, touch and count tasks, visual discrimination, predictable formats. And I think that says so much about the classroom teachers we're supporting. Teachers need confidence-building tasks, low frustration entry points, predictable systems, ways to reduce overwhelm and distractions, and ways to help students experience success. And that completely changed how I thought about independent work. Another thing that really changed over the years, based purely on teacher feedback, was the range of support teachers needed. At first, the club was for K through 2, very early elementary focused. But then teachers started saying, I need more complex tasks. And they were right, because independence didn't stop at basic skills. So over time, we expanded. We kind of went out in all directions. We added upper elementary. Now we're adding middle school and high school life skills. We added file folders and work binders in January 2024. That was huge. Then we added science. We added social studies, vocabulary, comprehension, Spanish, smart IEP goals and skills to go with the tasks. And now we're continuing to grow. The latest requests we have are for speech and for library tasks. And if that doesn't align with what you need, please let us know. We have a request form and we're listening. All the growth that's happened is because teachers kept showing us where support was needed next. The club grew in the same direction teachers needed support. And I think that's one of the coolest parts of the whole thing. And I'm so glad to be a part of. Even though the club has changed a lot over the past 4 years, some things have stayed completely true. Students still need predictability. Teachers still need systems. Engagement still matters. Structure still reduces overwhelm. And independent work still needs to be taught intentionally. I think sometimes teachers feel discouraged because they try out task boxes and it does not go well. And they might think, this just doesn't work for us. But most independent classrooms are built slowly, through consistency, through repetition, just like any routine. Students need to learn what to expect. And I think that's one of the biggest mindset shifts that I've had over the years. Which brings me back to this week's birthday celebration. This week, inside the club, we are releasing 100 new tasks. But more importantly, they are organized around the 4 parts of independent work that I think actually make classrooms run. Because independent work isn't just one thing. Sometimes I think that's where we get stuck. The 100 tasks that are uploaded this week all are divided into themes, 25 tasks each. On Monday, the first theme was Start Strong, because students need to know how to begin. When tasks feel familiar, clear, approachable, students are going to rely less on adult support, and it's going to build confidence faster. They're very predictable. On Tuesday, the theme was Stay Moving, because independent work isn't just about getting students started. It's about helping the system continue to keep going without constant restarting, without reteaching every few minutes, without the teacher holding the entire system together. So think of those errorless tasks, sorting, matching, visual discrimination, sequencing, things that students can do without a lot of support. On Wednesday, today, the theme is Stick with It, because even when students do know what to do, they still have to stay engaged long enough to actually do it. This is the engagement that matters. Hands-on learning, fine motor, interactive tasks. Students can't become independent with tasks if they're constantly avoiding them. And tomorrow's theme, the last 25 uploads, are called Stretch and Grow, because independent work shouldn't just stop at basic skills. Students do need opportunities to think, to problem solve, to read, to build vocabulary, and to continue learning more independently. Because the goal isn't just keeping students busy. It's building classrooms where students can function successfully and independently across different levels and needs. Now, this is a whole nother podcast episode I'll have to come back for, but I do think that this last category, stretch and grow, is often the first place we start when we're setting up task boxes and independent work for students. We look at their instructional level, we grab the tasks that we think they're going to need, but we skip over those first 3 themes that can really build confidence and help students become familiar with the routine before they're tackling those skills. I'll put a link in the show notes so you can check out all 100 brand new tasks that were just uploaded, plus the other 1,000 tasks that are already in the club. I also want to give away a lifetime teacher membership to the Independent Work Club. If you want to enter, you can find all the giveaway details linked in today's show notes. I'm also going to be sharing it over on Instagram, over on TikTok. If you're already a member, or if you don't want to wait till Friday to find out if you win and you want to join now, you can still enter. If you win, you'll be refunded this month, and then you can enjoy a lifetime membership to the Independent Work Club. Big difference between the Independent Work Club and the Taskbox Club is the Independent Work Club, you get access to all the things. You get all the task boxes, the setup tools, the file folders, and the work binders. Thank you so much for listening to this episode as I reflected on the last 4 years of the Taskbox Club. And thank you for the messages and thank you for all the ideas. You have shaped what this club has become, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, and I'll catch you next time in the Special Educators Resource Room. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'm dying to ask, what'd you think? Be sure to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. You can find the show notes and links for everything mentioned in this episode at positivelylearningblog.com. See you next week for more special education solutions.